I went overseas 5 days after September 11th, and I couldn't believe the contrast in the mass media coverage of September 11th and what led up to it, and terrorism in general and the war over there, in contrast to what there was over here. I've joked for years that our media has become so dumbed down that it's not that much different from Pravda, the old Soviet Union daily newspaper that the communists put out that gave you 8 pages a day of all the government thought you should know. Well, we're there, folks. We get bombarded with more information, but bombarding people with too much information, most of it useless, is just as good a way of controlling a society as depriving them of information. Instead, what do we get? Oh my God, human cloning! What are we going to do about human cloning? For some reason, that doesn't worry me. I think we've had human cloning as long as we've been alive. It's called the U.S. public school system. But over there, I found out so many things, and when I came back here, I thought everybody else knew this stuff too, or had read about it or something. People are going, what? I never heard about that. That couldn't have happened, could it? Over there, even some of the mainstream straight daily papers like The Independent, and especially The Guardian in Britain, which you can read on their website at www.guardian.co.uk, all kinds of interesting things in there, including not one but 2 reports that there was an informal diplomatic meeting in July of 2001, the summer before September 11th, in a Berlin hotel room. America was there, Soviet Union was there, Iran, Pakistan, Northern Alliance, Taliban invited but declined to attend. And according to The Guardian, the American diplomatic representatives said, hey, we're getting ready to invade Afghanistan and take out Osama bin Laden. And he didn't seem to care if the Pakistani representative took this back to the Taliban, which The Guardian claimed he did. Thought that was interesting. Other things that were common knowledge over there but not over here was that a chartered Saudi airliner was allowed to come into this country and pick up other members of the bin Laden family to get them safely back to Saudi Arabia right after September 11th. The FBI wasn't too amused about that. And how many of you know that the Bush family and the bin Laden family have a business relationship going back about 25 years? One of King George's first business partners when he was still a princeling back in 1979 in his first business venture, Arbusto Energy, was none other than Salem bin Laden, older brother of Osama by 1 year. And there's also this company called the Carlyle Group that King George Bush I still works for. And it's headed by Frank Carlucci, Contragate criminal, and one of the defense secretaries in the Reagan-Bush years. He's on there. Other people on the board of directors include James Baker, Bush I's Secretary of State and political dirty trick specialist who helped fix the Florida elections for Georgie Jr. later on. He's on board. Who else? Fidel Ramos, old president of the Philippines, is involved. John Major, who succeeded Margaret Thatcher as conservative prime minister of England, he's involved. And what the Carlyle Group does is they're the 11th largest defense contractor in the United States now. They don't really make anything. They buy up other companies, floundering manufacturers of weapons of mass destruction, put them on their feet financially, and either sell them off or hang on to them before they move on to another host. They're moving into other consumer technology and some media outlets overseas. Another person involved with Carlyle is King George Bush I, who to this day makes speeches on Carlyle's behalf for $800,000 in Carlyle stock per appearance. And guess who else made speeches for Carlyle before he got in the new Bush administration? Colin Powell. And guess who else had millions invested in Carlyle before they pulled it out in October? The bin Laden family. Going back to September 11th, another interesting one was all the different networks, they all had their news going all day, and I was flipping from channel to channel and surfing in between, and CBS seemed to be about the best in terms of what passes for quality these days with corporate news. CNN behind them, and then rock bottom was Fox News. Gee, what a surprise. Tell me, retarded punditoid number 6, how does this compare to the Monica Lewinsky scandal? Will this take America's attention off of Chandra Levy? They were thinking deep on this one. It was also interesting to watch the expert witness follies, where the networks, to outscoop each other quickly, gathered up all these people from past administrations, Republican for the most part. They got Kissinger on there. They got his protégés like Lawrence Eagleburger somehow ribbiting and croaking away in toad-like fashion, and other people on there. And it was interesting what came out of their mouths when they got shoved onto TV so quickly that they didn't get everything cleared with the spin doctors and official channels first. For example, James Woolsey, Clinton's first director of the CIA, they had him on TV looking like Yoda in a really bad mood. Yeah, well, the FBI and the grand jury had given us at the CIA the information they had on the 1993 World Trade Center bombing at the time. We could have spent all these years tracking these people down, taking care of them, so to speak, and this kind of thing might never have happened. In other words, all these different intelligence agencies we spent hundreds of billions of dollars on, I think we have 13 of them now, they fight with each other. They don't even get along. They don't even work together. They have prima donna hissy fits with each other instead. It's all run around the musical chairs with the Keystone Spies or something. All these documents they dredged up from the apartments of the people they went after for the 1993 bombings, talking about other ways to take out buildings with planes and everything, but nobody bothered to translate them because they couldn't find any Arabic translators.